Hi, my name is Ethan, and this is Not Just Apartments, where we try to give you tutorials, how-tos, helpful hints, and sometimes mistakes that we have just made that are costing us dearly. Today is one of those days where I'm working at a leasing office, and I wanted to share with you. I got 3 complaints about neighbor noise. We get those all the time. And what do you do about it? I want to give you one thing that you can do that is fun, and I want you to always try it out. It helps the community, and it's a great option. Now, some people say no to this. You might think it's wacky, funny, or it just won't work. But one thing I do is I try to connect with people right away and say, oh, so there you are trying to sleep, you're really tired, and you hear this noise. And they go, yeah, and I'm angry about it. Right. Man, you too, you need sleep. What do you do again? You have to get up early, right? I mean, well, every single person needs sleep. I know this has been going on, so we're going to see what we can do about it. Not sure how to exactly fix it yet. Sometimes you can circle back around and say, what's going on with the maintenance inside your apartment? Is there anything that I know I can take care of in there? And we're going to look into this noise problem as soon as we can and however we can. All of a sudden, there's a distinction between the things that you can do as a matter of fact right away and that you want to do that. And the other distinction is that the noise problem, that's subjective. It places it into two different categories. One, I can do some things, I will try to do the other things. And I want you to know that I want to help the situation for sure. Now here is, that's just how you kind of set up whatever action you're going to take. Now here is the option that you're going to find pretty silly, but I love doing it, and I think it will not only affect your relationship with your residents, but probably your relationship with life in general. All right, so I had this when I was a tenant, I was a resident. The guy below me was really being noisy. And I share this with people when they come in to complain about noise. I've been there myself, so I'm going to roll up my sleeves and see what we can do. I banged on the floor. I don't usually do that. I don't recommend it. It was late at night. I was going through a lot. I was frustrated. I was frustrated how people get. And then I heard a response back up immediately through the floor. You know, screw you, really loud. Didn't say screw. I got angry. I did something I shouldn't have. I ran down the stairwell to the floor below me, and I started banging on that apartment door below me. And looking through the peek hole like this, you know, and yelling like an idiot. Well, I felt really bad about that. The man below me did not open the door. And it's a good thing too, because I would have probably gotten my face beat in. And nobody wants their face beat in. So maybe that guy was afraid of me. Maybe it turns out when I did meet him, he's a lot bigger and stronger than me. However, before I met him, I felt really bad that I'd done that. I felt bad things were going wrong. I don't want tension in my place. So I wrote a note that said, hey, this is Ethan from the apartment upstairs, and I want you to know that this is my cell phone number. I know I'm probably really noisy sometimes, especially with my toddler son. We get to running and playing around. Please let me know if I'm bothering you. I go to bed really early. The music that you play sometimes is really loud, and could you please, after 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I'll give you, like on a Friday and Saturday, but please after 10 o'clock, would you please tone it down and not yell, because he's a loud talker too. So I wrote that on a note. I gave my cell phone number. I said, I don't want to bother you, there's this one thing I'm asking for your help with. Please give me a call anytime again. I'm sorry about what happened. So I left that note. I get a text back later that says, hey, this is John from downstairs. I got your note. We should hang out sometime. I'll try to be much more quiet. Maybe we should go get a beer. And it was so awesome from then on. Not only did I not have this tension that somebody hated me, but the guy surprised me and made the world a better place, to be honest. So now I've shared that story with a few residents. You can share your own story with residents along those lines and give them the option to say, hey, I'm gonna do what I can. Honestly, we can't do a whole lot. Sometimes it only makes matters worse when we make people defensive. I'm gonna give you this one thing that I strongly suggest you do, and that's give that person your number on a note. If you can't knock on the door and have a face-to-face with them, let them know that you would like to not bother them. This is your number, and there's one thing that you're asking them. Well, I had a guy that say, my neighbor really hates me. She's not going to respond well to that. She's already called the cops on me before for banging to get her to stop. This guy was really adamant that was not going to work. Well, this tenant took a try on it. He came up the next day. I saw him at the same leasing office. He came up and I was like, oh geez, here he comes again. He's going to give me this earful and this negative energy. Well, he came up and he said, Ethan, you were right. I wish I'd tried that earlier. He said that girl who had called the cops on him, who he really thought hated him. He had all this worked up negative energy between him and that girl. Well, she surprised him and wrote a nice, sweet note back, apologizing for everything. And so when he said, Ethan, that's not going to work, he was so angry. He came up and said, dude, it worked. So give your angry resident as many times as you can that other option, because the benefits of that option are, number one, it's nice to be surprised in a good way sometimes, isn't it? Number two, that's going to be better if it does work that way. It's so much better to walk past your neighbor and just give that little nod, that instead of like a grimace. It's your home. Say, I want to make your home as homey as possible. And I say that to everybody in that whole structure. So please, if that's something you're open to do, just do it. It doesn't take anything off of you. If it doesn't work, you come right back here, and then we'll approach it like the battle that you think it is now. But this thing might not be a battle. Is that wacky or what? Well, try it. And that's my noise with tenants tip I'm giving you today. Thank you for watching, and watch some of our other stuff too. God bless. Namaste.